Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Lefebvre, and today we are going to be doing a color mixing chart. So let's jump in and start. Okay, so today we are going to be making a color mixing chart using complementary or contrasting colors. If you're not sure what that is, complementary or contrasting colors are the two colors that sit directly across from each other on the color wheel: red and green, purple and yellow, and blue and orange. If you mix equal parts of those colors, you will get a shade of brown, but also if you mix a small amount of one color with the other, you will also be able to mute that tone. So we're going to be making 3 different charts today using those contrasting and complementary color duos, and it's great to have as a reference in your little painting area. It's fun to do if you really, just need something to paint. It's calming and relaxing, but it also helps you develop those skills with color mixing and color theory. So let's just jump right in. I used some tiny little masking tape to do this. You don't have to do that. You can just use a pencil and a ruler, or you can just swatch the colors. It doesn't really matter. But ideally what we're going to be making is a chart that is 2 rows, 5 columns. Okay, so the top row is going to be the more darker pigmented version, so the darker value of the color, and the bottom row is going to be the lighter value of the color. So you can see the difference. Now let's just jump right in. Okay, you can pause the video if you need to do your little charts, and then we'll get started. So our first combination is blue and orange. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your blue, and as you can see here, I have like a bunch of different blues. It really doesn't matter which blue you use. Each blue is going to give you a different outcome. So if you wanted to do like multiple charts of blue and orange to see what kind of different hues you'll get of the colors that you mix, definitely do that. That could be a great exercise as well, because ultramarine is going to give you a very different mixture than turquoise. Same with cobalt blue. So for this, I think I'm going to use my most neutral tone, which is my Winsor blue, which I actually had to add here because I don't have it in my palette. And I'm going to add the more pigmented version at this end of our chart. Okay, so we want it nice and dark, like so. This is the Winsor blue, I think the green one. So it's more on the turquoisey side. It's a cool blue. All right. Then what you're going to do is you are going to put the other contrasting color at the other side, which is our orange. So I'm just using cadmium orange here. It's the only orange I have in my palette. If you don't have an orange, you can mix your own orange with red and yellow, like so. Okay. One thing I forgot to do was do the lighter value. So I'm just going to take some of that water off, or that pigment off. Oh my gosh, my brain's not working. Okay, like that. And then I'll do the lighter value of the blue over here so we can see. Make sure you wash your color off, which I haven't. Okay, a nice light value of the blue so you can see what it looks like as a darker value and a lighter value. Okay. Like so. Now what you're going to do is you're going to mix equal parts of these colors together. So I'm going to add some Winsor blue to the middle here, like so. I'm going to wash off my brush. Then I'm going to grab my orange and mix it. Okay, if it's leaning more towards one color, you might have to add a bit more. So I'm going to add a bit more orange because it looks a bit too bluish green. And the interesting thing about a blue and orange mix, depending on your blue, you might not even get brown. You'll get a green color, because if the blue, like my blue, is cool, it leans more towards green. It has a bit more yellow in it. You're going to get some sort of green color. So for this is what we're getting. Actually, that's beautiful. So you should get some sort of brown, but this one we're getting green, which is interesting. If I was to mix ultramarine with the orange, I would get more of a browny color. I can actually show you on a different chart that I did previously. Yeah, this is green. Interesting. just based on the color blue I was using. So I did this chart before, and see with an ultramarine, you get more of a browny green, okay? Also depends on what orange you use. So this mixture is probably the only one that doesn't give you like a true brown. All right, so now we're gonna mix these two colors together. So you're gonna do equal parts of the blue and the middle color, which in this case is green. So I'm just gonna take a bit more blue on the side, like that. And I'm gonna add it here. And that mutes the blue. Now, like I said with the ultramarine, which is interesting, it creates more of a dusty blue, which I really like. Look at this again. I really like that blue. It's like a dusty blue. Here it's creating more of a turquoise. Lighten it up. Wash off your brush and then grab your other color. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I've never done this combination of mixing before of this Winsor blue and orange, and I'm surprised. It was supposed to come out brown and it's not. It's turning into green, but like look at this green that I'm getting. That's pretty cool. I think my orange is leaning more towards yellow as well, which is causing it to be green. So that's very interesting. So I'm learning as I go along as well with this. This is kind of backfiring in my teaching. It's supposed to be brown, but it's not. So yeah, it's all good. And there we go. There's our first chart, okay? So now looking at it as a reference, you'll know. Also, it might be important if you don't know your colors or what colors you mixed to write down the color mixtures. So write your Winsor blue or your cadmium orange for future reference. So that is our first combination. So now we're going to mix purple and yellow. This will give us more of a brown. Let's hope. Okay, so I'm going to start off with purple. I'm going to start off with some dioxazine purple. And I'm going to start at this end. Make it nice and dark. Actually, while I still have my pigment on my brush, I'm going to put it here for when we mix. There we go. Oh, I forgot. I have to do the light wash. I'm on fire today. So I'll let you guys know a little secret. Not really a secret, but I already shot this tutorial yesterday and my mic wasn't working. So this is my second time and I'm a bit more flustered this time. And this is the one that's going to be posted. So that's interesting. So sometimes things don't always work out. Okay, so we got our purple down, our dark value and our light value. Now I'm going to take my yellow, and again, depending on what yellow, it's going to be different. I have lemon yellow up here, and I also have cadmium yellow. I'm just going to use my cadmium yellow because why not? I don't know. A lot of yellow. Okay, and then we'll do the lighter value. Just taking some of that off. Like that. And then we're going to mix equal parts. So I'm going to take my yellow. This is still leaning a bit more towards purple, so I want to grab a bit more yellow to make it brown. A bit more purple. And that should be the middle color. Okay, so you want to try and get as equal parts as you can. Okay, wash a bit of that off. Do a light wash of it. There we go. Okay, so now we are going to do the muted mixture, which you will see. This is going to mute each color. So I'm adding a bit more purple to this. And you'll see it is quite different from our pure dioxazine purple. It's a really nice dark plum purple. So it's muted it down a bit, and muting your colors can be really nice for a fall palette. So it's good to know these mixtures. And like, who would have thought that? I'm gonna make it a bit more muted. There we go. Who would have thought that adding a bit of yellow to purple would make it muted? You know what I mean? There we go. So there's that side, and now we're going to add more yellow. And this mixture I like because yellow ochre is one of my favorite colors in my palette, but if you don't have yellow ochre, all you have to do is add a little bit of purple to it, and you have yellow ochre. Actually, let's add a bit more yellow. And there you go. You have like your own yellow ochre that you've mixed. So you don't have to buy a lot of these colors. You can mix them. And there we go. There is our second chart. All right. And then for our last one is red and green. I find that this one makes the best brown, in my opinion. If I'm ever mixing a brown, this one makes the best one. So I'm going to use Winsor red. Lighten it up a bit. And I'll take a bit more, put it in my palette for the mixture. There we go. And then I'm going to use my Hooker's green, kind of a more neutral green. But again, using different greens will give you a different outcome. This could be a bit darker. All right, now I'm going to take both colors and mix them, and you should get a brown. Yeah, this is like my favorite way to mix a brown, I find. Works the best. There we go. Lighten it up. All right, now we're going to mix our other colors to get our more muted tones. And I feel like this is also the best kind of way to see our muted colors. So if I'm ever mixing like a shadow of a red, this is what I'll do. I'll use red and then a bit of green, and it gives you this nice dark red, which can act like as a really good shadow color. So if you're like painting an apple and you want to do a shadow on it, sometimes I'll just mix this. This is also great for like a fall color palette. Okay, and then we're going to get our green. Same with the green, it's a good way to mix like a dark green. Grab a bit more red. Makes it a bit more earthy looking, so it can take your bright, vibrant greens and just make them a bit more neutral, which I always love, like a neutral green. Earthy colored greens are like my favorite. There we go. And there we go. I feel like my light value of this red could be a bit darker. It looks like it's barely there. There we go. And there we go. There is our chart. So I'm just going to take off the tape of mine so you guys can see. And there you go. There are your color mixing charts, which are great for reference. If you want them to be a little bit more like appealing to the eye, you don't have to use complementary or contrasting colors. You could definitely do, you know, other color combinations and do a whole page of them and just have them as art hanging up in your office or whatever. But they're great for references. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.